So I would like to share a few words in this moment as we are together at the end of this year, as we pass to the new year. Very often we are reminded that from all the tools that are available in this life, the most powerful one is our own mind. And from our mind, one of the most powerful aspects is actually our own desire, our aspiration. What do we actually want? In which direction we put our energy? What we do, in which way we interact with others, the direction in which we put our energy in our life, it comes mainly from our desire of actually what do we want. No? And in Tibetan we say kulong chöpa, which means to generate the motivation. And this is fundamentally important whenever we start something, to ask what is our motivation? What do we actually want? Why are we here? And so on. So as we start a new year, I believe it's important for us to take the time to regenerate our motivation for this new year. I think this is something that is also very important. So, personally, it took me a long time to somehow connect to New Year and this type of festivities. I always thought them very strange since I was a small kid. But the way how I connected to it, it's the importance of cycles. Because if we don't have the beginning of a new cycle and the end of another cycle, we don't have the possibility to look back into what have happened and what we have done. We don't have the possibility to regenerate our own intention and motivation. So the fact that every 12 months there is a new cycle, which we call a year, it's a convention, but all cycles are conventions actually, in a way or another. So we should use this cycle to redirect our life, to go back to our own roots and our own desires and understand what do we actually want. Okay? And it's also good to look backwards and see how this year have been, what we have done, what we have learned, and so on. But if we start doing this now, we can stay here until the end of next year. So at least we will focus now on generating the motivation for this next year. Okay? And I could make many wishes, like, oh, I wish you to have a very happy new year, everything may be successful, may everything be good and wonderful. But this is a little bit naive, in the sense that, sure, there will be problems. So, what do I wish for myself and for all of you? I do not have this sort of, wish-fulfilling thoughts like wishing things that somehow are not really possible. Because in my lifetime, I have not lived so many years, but when I look in my lifetime and when I look in the life of people around me, I have never seen anyone that had an year without problems, without difficulties. And yes, normally we say, I wish you a happy new year and everything else. But what I really wish is that we may have a year in which we are able to deal with peace, with patience, whenever there are difficulties. A year in which, when we have joyful moments, we are able to experience them in the best of our capacities, to enjoy the good moments, to really, to fully enjoy the good moments, and to be able to learn and grow up with the difficult ones. I hope that when we get to the end of 2023, we are a better person than today. That we have learned some things, that we have developed our qualities, such as having more patience, more stability, more joy, more generosity. I hope that we may be able to interact also with the others around us in a peaceful way, in a way in which our actions become a positive interaction, become a positive interdependence. As Rinpoche was always reminding us the importance to do everything with peace. And Rinpoche, in a very kind way, he was bringing us, saying, Sleep with peace, dream with peace, wake up with peace, peace with everything, everything with peace, listen with peace, watching, looking with peace, and so on. In other words, Rinpoche was saying to us, don't expect to develop peace just by itself like that. We need to put effort. We need to bring it to our daily life. So I wish that in this next year we can give the right priorities. We can give priority to peace, to love, to patience, to stability, to our own practice of Dharma. I really wish that in this next year that comes, we are able to see the value and the preciousness of every day of our life. And that we also can understand and perceive every day that we cannot take every day of our life for granted. We are here today, tomorrow we don't know. And the situations come and go. Like in this past 3 years, more or less, we have lived so many things that we have never expected would happen. And yet most of them have finished. And I'm sure that many other things will come in our lifetime. Some of them things that we expect, many things that we don't expect will happen. But one of the points is that the things begin and end, but we are here. And the way how we are now, it's a result of how we have experienced all these things. So please remind oneself that we have no time to lose. Actually, when I sit here and I look up there, there is my friend up there, which is this insect there. And when I had this experience, this 13th of August, in which I had this encounter with this insect, which I really don't know which it was, in which I had finally this sort of anaphylactic shock. And what was a blessing for me, a blessing of a sort. Bringing back the awareness that we cannot waste our time in life. All of us, we will die. Even if we have a very long life, life goes by so fast. One day after the other, one moment after the other, it goes by. So we don't have time to waste with jealousy, with envy, with this, that. We have no time to waste. I really wish for everyone that in this new year we are able to cultivate more love and stability and patience and gratitude and satisfaction and peace. For me, this is my main wish. Then when every day come in and out, we are able to live it in a meaningful way. This is important. Then in a more somehow wishing the impossible so that it may become possible, I truly wish that may all the big conflicts that exist in this world, wars and so on, as Rinpoche would say, may the big conflicts become small, may the small disappear. So may the wars be pacified, may the conflicts in our own lives, in the families and work, environment, and society as a whole, may every conflict be pacified, starting with our own small ones. We can look to our own self and we say, okay, where do I have conflict? I want to pacify this conflict. And we put it as an objective for this next year, not just as wishful thinking. Okay, I have a conflict with that person, I don't want that anymore. I have a problem with this situation, I want to solve it. We put it as an objective for us. May the sicknesses be pacified. May the bad habits be pacified, which creates the sicknesses. We cannot wish for health in an unhealthy lifestyle. So may we all cultivate a healthy lifestyle in the best of our own abilities. And truly, the main wish is that may there be peace in our own lives, in our own minds, within ourselves, and as a consequence, may there be peace in our society and in the world in which we live. Okay. And one thing, generate the motivation for this next year, but generate something that you can connect on every day. Not just something what I want for the whole year. No, what I want for every day of this next year. And then we need to remember it, and then we need to keep on it. And then slowly, slowly, it can happen, as Rinpoche would say, hard work miracle. That's what is possible. Okay. Buon anno, Happy New Year. Thank you very much.